Welcome back. It's your man Melly Mel, aka the Melman. I wanted to talk about the military. Like any young man or young woman looking into joining the military. I want to talk about the experience I went through when I joined, and from preparing to go to basic for basic training, and then everything else afterwards. So before I even decided to, I didn't know why I joined. I was getting ready to finish. It was my junior year. Yeah, it was my junior year, and I had no plans of doing nothing else. I'm sorry to say it, but I have no skills. I don't know how to fix cars. I know a little bit now, self-taught. As you grow, you pick up certain skills. But at the time, I was just a regular kid trying to make it through sports. I'm short, 5'7", so basketball, football, I'm Spanish, you feel me? I'm not gonna make it. I wasn't great at soccer. I was okay at baseball, but at the time, baseball players were a lot bigger. So I'm playing sports every day. I'm in great shape, but I never been to a gym. Like I had no direction. I pretty much raced myself. I got tired of selling fucking little bit of drugs here and there. I'm all stupid. You think you get a $1.20 pack, you think you the man. Get an ounce, get half, get this, and get a pound. You think you the man. But I had no direction. So I'm in school. It's almost the end of the year, and this teacher brought a Navy recruiter over to basically recruit, but he was just talking about the Navy and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, that shit sound alright. Like, they gonna teach me how to shoot. Like, I ain't really, listen, it might sound ignorant, but I knew nothing about the military. Like, none of my family ever spoke about it. I saw Army movies, but I thought that was just movies. Like, you feel me? Like, I ain't basic training. I'm not really I wasn't a big movie guy at the time. This is stuff I picked up later in life. Like, growing up, I was just trying to make money, get a meal, look fresh, be out with the shorties. That's all I really cared about when I was young. So I ain't have time. The only time I went to a movie was when I went, when a shorty wanted to chill. I take a shorty to the movies. I won't even pay attention to the movies. The whole time I'm trying to do the nasty but anyways, that's a different story. But yeah, he brought this Navy recruiter to talk to the class, and so, like, it intrigued me. I'm like, fuck, like, what am I gonna do after next year? Like, I'm gonna be a senior. Like, I had no idea what to do. So at the end of the joint, I asked him for his number. I'm like, yo, let me get your number. Let me think about this, and I'll give you a call. And y'all gotta remember, this is like 2000, I think 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. Internet was out, but like, it wasn't like it is now, like, to where everybody has it. You feel me? It was like, if you had it, yeah, but if you didn't, it's still cool. Like it wasn't like now where it's like it's a must-have. And then phones were just getting into, like, camera phones and stuff like that. So it wasn't like it is now where you could just look up stuff. So even though we still had some technology, we were still pretty new to it. But I go home, I tell my mom. My mom is like, I'm talking to my mom. I told her, I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about joining the Navy. And she's like, oh, well, I mean, that's a good choice. But she told me, she was like, if you're gonna do it, do it. She like, don't go into stuff half-assing, because she knew me like my whole life. I'm a 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of guy. Like I was like that my whole life. So she was like, if you're gonna do it, don't play with it, and don't try to be a hero. Like that's the one thing she told me. She said, don't try to be a hero. So I say like 2 weeks after, it was like the middle of the summer. I called the recruiter boy. I forget his name. I'm not good with names. I called him over. He pulled up. He picked me up. He had me take this test. It was like this little test. Like it was like 27 questions. I took the test. I passed it. And then he like, all right. I'm at the time I'm in Philly. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's like, all right. So I'm gonna do a physical test. I'm gonna give you a physical test, and then if you do good on that, he like, it don't even matter if you do good or bad, because they'll get you ready. But we'll go to Fort Dix in New Jersey, and we'll get the ASVAB. We'll take the ASVAB. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go. I do the fit. He picking me up in the, like 4 in the. I never had structure in my life. So he's picking me up 4 in the morning to go work out. And then after workout, we get breakfast. And then after breakfast, I mean, you wash up, and then you chill. Like, I spend the day with him in his office and shit. Like, he's doing that with like 6 of us. At the time, people were getting money for recruiting. So like, if I was coming in and I recruited somebody, I will get money, and vice versa, like that. So I'll get rank and money. So he's doing that with a group of us. You get cool with the group. We go take the ASVAB. When I took the ASVAB, I scored so low. I scored like the lowest of the lowest. I did terrible on my ASVAB. It wasn't because it was like a 4-hour test, bro. And I didn't have the patience. I didn't have I had no structure in my life. Like, I'm dozing off mid-test. I'm just rushing C. Just hitting C on everything. A, B, C, like that. So I scored really low on the ASVAB. He got kind of pissed. He's like, damn, like, come on, like, you ain't even try. So I'm like, all right, fuck. Like, I had to wait. And then I think it was like two or 3 weeks later. I know it was like right before the school year started, my senior year. I took the ASVAB again, bam, and I had enough to join. I did it. It wasn't a high score. I think I had like a 30 something, close to a 40. But it was high enough. No, don't play. That's glass. My son is out here. I didn't score high enough to get decent jobs. And then that's another thing. I ain't know anything about jobs. But I scored high enough to get into the Navy and the Army. While I was at the recruiter's office, I got to see the Navy, what the Navy looked like and what the Army looked like. So I'm like, damn, like, I know you did all this for me, bro, but I think I like the way they look. Like the uniform, they had the ACUs, like, it was dope. So I went over to the Army. I ended up joining the Army. I kind of feel bad I did that, but at the time, again, every man for himself. Like, you have to make decisions for yourself. You can't make the decisions based on others, especially, when you're a young man. So I ended up joining the Army. So it was like my senior year. So I'm in the Army. Nah, you know what? It wasn't my it was my junior year. But it was at the beginning of my junior year, because I did anyway, so I'm getting ready to go to basic. I don't know anything about basic. At the time, I had like a curly top with the blowout on the side. I'm looking on nice, poppied out. So we get the Fort Dix. You in there, they make you strip down to your boxers. They checking you out, checking your body, giving you needles, all types of stuff. Like they making sure you in good shape for what's about to come. So you staying at Fort Dix. They got the nice hotel. You eating good. Then that morning comes right when you getting ready to ship out the basic. So you get on a bus. I forgot where they drove us to. We drove to Missouri. I did basic in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. We drove from Jersey to Missouri. And then in Missouri, they did another checkup. Like, you know, they split y'all up. They give you these, we call them marshmallows. They strip you of everything. They strip you of hair. They strip you of name. All you have is your last name. That's something to be proud of, your last name. That's all you start off with. You don't they strip you of time, they strip you of status, they strip you of your hair, which is your looks, they strip you of clothing, they strip you of schedule. So you're gonna lose all those things when you join basic. When you first get to basic, you're gonna lose all that. And speaking of that, for anybody, any male that has hair, you know, my dread hairs out there, my bodies with the long hair and the braids, don't let these the military's an experience. Don't give them that pleasure of cutting your hair. Give that to your friends and family. You feel me? Like, you about to become a new person. Give that to let your family kill the old, so then you could come back with the new. I got that from one of my boys in basic. His name was Jackson, dreadhead from down Florida. It was something that he said to me. He was like, because we was making fun of him because, you know, they cut his hair, and he said, he was like, man, I should have just let my pop done it. I should have let my pop done it. I should have let my pop cut my hair, but I didn't. So that's just one little thing. Like, that's something I picked up. So they strip you of your hair, all that. They give you the marshmallows. It's the it's a gray sweatsuit, and it says Army on it. It's nice. It's warm. From there, they put us in these cattle trucks, and they took us like literally cattle trucks. Like, you got your backpack, you got your bag, and then they stuffed us in cattle trucks, and they took us over to the barracks. You get to the barracks, they put us in bays. The experience might be a little different for others, but they put us in bays. It was like, I think it was like it was 8-man bays with bunk beds. So you got your bunk bed, and then 2 lockers, bunk bed, 2 lockers, bunk bed, 2 lockers, like that. And that's where we did our basic. But at the beginning of basic, I think it was the red phase or something like that. They it's all physical. You're gonna get a lot of physical. Like I said, they strip you of your scheduling, and they strip you of your time. So now now they gonna put you in a they're gonna put you like almost like a survival state of mind. Like, especially for people who eat a lot and stuff like that. Like, your meal count, you're gonna have 3 meals, and you're gonna be working out. You're gonna be dropping calories. So it puts you in a survival state of mind, and you gotta learn how to operate that way. You running a lot. A lot of push-ups, a lot of sit-ups. A lot of core movements. If anybody wants to get ready for basic, I would say run. Like, get your running up before you even go. Me, I didn't know anything of it, but I didn't know what the experience was gonna be like, but I didn't really care. I was already in pretty good shape going into it. I couldn't do sit-ups though. Sit-ups was something I had to learn to do. So you get done that phase, and then you get your weapon, you get your uniform. You know, they start They go from addressing you as private to addressing you by your name, stuff like that. I mean, you start getting ranked. You get your weapon. When I went there basic, I don't know if every basic does this, but we had a Super Nintendo. It was a Super Nintendo plugged to an old TV, and it had an M16 as a remote, and it was a video game. And that's how we learned basic marksmanship with a rifle. It was one Nintendo per bay. It was like 4 bays. It was 4 floors, and each floor had about, I say 40, 50 soldiers, but each floor had one, because it was 4 platoons. It was one game per platoon, and then everybody would take turns. So what I would do is I would volunteer for night shift, like, because while everybody's sleeping, someone has to pull guard and stuff like that. Like, they teach you structure and tactics the whole time you're there, so you're building good habits. So while people are sleeping, 2 are pulling guard, or one's pulling guard and the other one's learning how to shoot on the game. So I will always volunteer for the first shift. That way I could get my rifle time, because I never touched a weapon in a tactical situation. I was always like a street boy. Like, I'll have a gun with me, but I ain't really know shit about guns. I just know that if I squeeze this trigger, I could take life. Or if somebody squeezed the trigger, they could take my life. So that's all I really knew. But in the military, like, I learned how to really break down a weapon, how it works. Not just a rifle or a handgun, a big machine gun, submachine guns. I really learned how to do all that. So, and it all started with a freaking Super Nintendo video game. I think it's called the Mac program. Yeah, Mac or TAPS or something like that. Or, yeah, I think it's Mac. But that's how I learned. And the video game wasn't very accurate. But it taught you just weapon placement, like in the prone position, in the kneeling position, like how to hold it, like where to put your elbows and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. I'll show y'all some of those drills. But yeah, got to the red phase. Then I became a team leader in basic. Like, they start giving, once you start doing field projects, they start giving you, they'll pick leaders. I became a team leader, and I don't know why, because I didn't want it, but they saw, I guess I was okay, or maybe I wasn't okay. I don't know why they picked me, but they picked me to be a team leader. So I had to make sure other people was good, their gear was working, batteries for this, batteries for that, making sure everyone had water when we went out, making sure the squad was good, the uniform, this, maintain personal hygiene, that, like, because on the field, that's another thing, like, you still had to maintain personal hygiene. Like, even when we went out, we'll be out on the field for a week and a half, you still had to, go brush your teeth, bro. Yo, go wash yourself, bro. You stink. Yo, the enemy can smell you. What you doing? Go clean your ass, dog. But yeah, so I had to make sure of that. I had to make sure we had batteries for everything. I had to make sure everybody ate. Me, the squad leader. It was me. We had a squad leader and 2 team leaders. I was one of the team leaders, and those were our tasks while on the field. And also, like, tactical move, planning and stuff like that, when we were gonna do like tactical movements, or we're gonna do small raids, or the little stupid stuff that they will have us do. So the team leader and the squad leaders will get together with the drill instructors who were in charge, and then we'll come up with plans. But then you get past that phase, you get into white phase, where it's a little more relaxed. You basically done. You get your family there. Your family gets to come see you. I mean, you get to unload, unwind. I mean, you've been there 2-3 months. You're angry. You go from being angry to taking in knowledge. Like, at first you start questioning, like, yo, what the fuck am I here for? Like, I'm just here to work out. And then you start getting knowledge of things. Like, you start learning about weapons. You start learning about just history. You start learning everything, bro. Everything. You start learning about other people. Because if you're anything like me, I had like a 4 or 5 block radius before I joined the military. I had never been anywhere. All I knew was my 7 friends and the other dudes from down the block, and just random shorties I would meet at the gallery at Franklin Mills Mall. That's all I knew. I knew nothing else. So to actually get to meet a person from Alaska, a person from Florida, a person from New Hampshire, a person from Boston, motherfucker from New York, this motherfucker from Haiti, this other dude, I don't even know, Indian cat from New Delhi. It was insane, the melting pot of people that was in there. I had a girl, she came up to us because for some reason, like, there wasn't a lot of Spanish people in my platoon. It was me and some guy and another guy named Aguayo. Me, Aguayo, and I forget, it was three Spanish guys and about 4 black dudes. Everyone else was white, but they were all different types of whites. Like whites from here, whites from, like, it was different. But this one chick came up to us and she like, oh, can I touch y'all? Like, I never seen y'all in real life. Like, I never had that. That was an experience. Like, she like, yeah, I never seen y'all in real life. And it was like, where the fuck are you from? She's like, yeah, nah, I see black guys and Spanish guys on TV, but not in my daily life. I never really got to chop it up with her, but that was kind of weird. But yeah, then white face, you start getting dressed up. You get your orders and you go. Yeah, that was a little bit of the experience. If I could give y'all more details of stuff. I just don't want to bash the military or make myself look like a fucking goon. I was doing stupid shit while I was there. So there, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll do a part 2 of these. This is just the beginning. I'm gonna give you a little bit more. I would try to make a little series about this, and yeah, let me know. Melly Mel, we are here, but we are out. Peace.